What is up guys, welcome back to this video. Now starting off this video a little bit differently, I'm going to have a bit of a chat with you guys and talk through my goals, what my aims are, what my macros are, things like that. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, it's because although I am inside, I've just come in from being outside, and here in England at the moment, especially where I live, it's -7 degrees. For those of you over in America, that's 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so really cold. It took me like 20 minutes this morning to even be able to open the windows on my car because they were frozen shut. Absolute nightmare. First thing to get started with, what are my macros? I'm currently working with macros of 200 protein, which makes up 800 calories. I've got 150 carbs, which is another 600 calories, and 65 fat, which is, if my memory serves me right, 675 calories. So added all together, that makes up about 1,975 calories, and then there's 25 calories there for other sources of energy, but for the most part rounding off at about 2,000 calories. Now my maintenance is about 2,500-ish. I don't have an extremely high metabolism, I'm not tall, slim, ectomorph, where I'm up at 3,000, 3,500. So I'm usually in about a 500 calorie deficit most days. But yeah, I find it works very well. It's not so large that you're going to start losing muscle and going catabolic and burning that up, but it's also significant enough to have a constant effect on your weight, so you will constantly have the motivation to see it drop. Because one of my main problems that I always struggle with when I do diet is that I tend to really lose motivation if I hit a plateau, or if I rise back up in weight and it doesn't come straight back down. So I like to have slightly bigger calorific deficit, and then that way it keeps me motivated to carry on. Next, what are my actual weight loss goals? Well, I started this series in this diet at around 208, 210 pounds. I'm currently 199, I think, somewhere around there. I'll have to check. Haven't quite weighed myself this morning yet, but I was 200 yesterday, so I'm assuming hopefully I've dropped a little bit again. But I'm aiming to, first things first, get down to around 170 pounds. Last time I was extremely lean, I was roughly 155, 160-ish, and I was pretty lean. But that was 2 years ago, so I'm hoping that I'll have added at least 5, maybe 10 pounds of muscle there. So 170 is the first goal, just to get in good shape, and then from that point, which I'm aiming for around March or early April, I'm going to then spend the next month and a half really dialing in, maybe only losing half a pound a week, but just really focusing on dropping the next 5 to 10 pounds down to 165 or 160, really effectively maintaining maximum muscle mass, and hopefully getting down into those single digit body fat figures where the physique will speak for itself. And I'm aiming for that by early May, because I want it to be done in time for the Body Power Expo. Last year I went, I was bulked up, and it was great fun, probably one of the best weekends I've had, especially fitness wise. It was brilliant. This year for me, I'm seeing it more as a business sort of thing rather than a recreational activity for me to go do. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be going by myself. As of this moment, nobody's asked me to go with them. I'll still be walking around myself and I'll still be enjoying it myself, but I'll see it as an opportunity to showcase my physique, and also to showcase the fact that I create videos, that I have an Instagram, all that sort of things, to hopefully gather more and more support to help grow the things that I like to do, such as YouTube and Instagram and social media in general, and just to show people what I've created basically through weeks and weeks and weeks of hard work. So those are my goals for this series, and really what I am aiming for by the end of it. Just so you guys know, because I realised that I hadn't really gone in depth about what I was actually aiming to do in the coming months. So there you go, now you know. One other topic that I wanted to mention quickly in this video is talking about cardio and whether it's actually necessary when you are dieting. The short answer and the easy answer is no, it's not. If you are very strict and you can maintain your diet very effectively, you don't need to do cardio. If you can stay 500 calories less than maintenance consistently, day by day, you will lose weight. It's not rocket science, it's actually very simple maths, you know. Calories in, calories out. There are more complicated layers to it, but over a long period of time, if you are consistently in a deficit, you will lose weight. Now, whether you lose more muscle or less muscle, more fat or less fat initially, you know, it depends on what you're eating and how you're eating it. But for the most part, cardio is not essential. Now, if you're like me and you do like your food, what will happen is some days it's inevitable that you're going to slightly overeat. Okay, maybe you hit that 2500 maintenance, you eat 500 calories more than you should be. What do? You do 30 minutes of cardio, 350 calories burnt, and you are 350 calories in a deficit. But which type of cardio should you do? In my opinion, for fat loss and just for general ease, my favourite and the one I suggest if you are a bodybuilder or a fitness model or somebody who's doing this strategically for a certain date or to look a certain way or to retain muscle, you know, low intensity steady state stuff is what you want to be going for, because it keeps you in a fat burning zone throughout the entirety of the workout. Doesn't have so many lasting effects, you know, burning calories into the future, unlike high intensity stuff, but it's easy to do, easy to complete. You know, I just get up a YouTube video, whoever I like watching, Christian Guzman, somebody like that, you know, I'll literally just whack it on, 25 minutes long, finish that, put another one on that's maybe shorter, maybe 10 minutes, there's 35 minutes of cardio done. Don't even notice I'm doing it because it's at a steady, comfortable pace, 350 calories burnt, job done. But I do understand why some people may like to do high intensity more. I myself do enjoy it, and I make sure that at least one of my cardio sessions each week does remain high intensity, because as I said before, there are lasting effects once you are finished. You know, you continue to burn calories, and also I just enjoy it. I enjoy pushing myself, really feeling the extent of what I'm doing to the maximum, rather than low intensity where you just sort of, you feel a bit tired and maybe your legs start to hurt if you're on a bike, you know, or just things like that. So that's what I think about cardio and your dieting. Not absolutely essential, but is very good if you are like me and you do tend to overeat every so often. Not cheat, you know, if you completely cheat then you're screwed for that day basically. Just get back on track again. But if you want a few more carbs than you should do, you know, instead of 100 grams of rice you have 150, a few hundred extra calories throughout the day, not a problem. Get your cardio done and you'll be right back on track. So anyway guys, I'm going to go weigh myself, make some breakfast, do the commentary for this video, and I'll see you guys there. What is up YouTube? Welcome back to another commentary. Now in today's episode, the workout that is included is a chest workout that I completed a couple of days ago from today that I am uploading. Basically what I did was I warmed up with about 60 kilos, just pumping out reps, just getting the blood flowing, getting myself sort of warmed up and ready to go. For the working sets, what I did was I went up to 90, did 90 for, I'm going to say roughly 8 reps I think, but I was focusing on just making them smooth, making them fast, and making sure that in between sets I didn't have too much rest time. I did 2 sets at 90, this is the first of those 2. As you can see, nice smooth motion, not taking too long with the reps, trying to make them nice consistent speeds to get sort of the heart going and make it more cardiovascularly taxing than maybe going heavier and slightly slower. So I dropped the weight down here to 80 kilos and continued with another 2 sets, again 8 to 12 reps, trying to make them smooth, fast, powerful, just really getting the heart going, bumping up the heart rate, because that's what we're really aiming for, guys, in these workouts. You're never going to gain that much strength, if any at all, unless you're like really new to the gym, while losing weight and trying to get lean. So I just don't worry about it. I opt for, I'm not ashamed to drop the weights and just really focus on making them quick, successive, and without long rest periods, because that is what is going to raise the heart rate and get the calories being burnt. After I finished bench press, I moved on to do some incline dumbbell press, as you see here. Again, the weights weren't ginormous. They were significant enough to work the muscle, remind the muscle that it needs to stick around so that it doesn't start disappearing when I'm on a calorie deficit. It doesn't start wasting away. It needs to stick around. So I don't recommend dropping the weights tremendously. Just drop them enough so that you can still complete the exercises with the right amount of reps, just maybe without that real strain that requires you to have to take long rest periods or slow down the reps or do less reps. You want to get a good amount, good speed, and I know I keep saying it, but just do not take long rest periods, because your heart rate drops and you're getting back down to near your base heart rate. You're obviously not going to be burning so many calories. After that, I moved on to some dumbbell flies. I went for 2 or 3 sets of this, just to get a nice stretch in the muscle, going out nice and wide, pausing briefly at the top of the movement just to feel the stretch, not too long to make it start burning, just quick enough to feel it, and then continuing with the reps. I went for 8 to 12 again, just to get a nice pump, get the muscles actually feeling like they are working, and to cause myself just that little bit of pain that is always nice when you're working out. The reason I didn't do many more sets of that is because I moved on to doing flies with a machine here, but I did it slightly differently and I really enjoyed it. So as you can see, what I'm doing is really using the fingertips of my hands, not gripping the handle, because when you grip the handle, what tends to happen is the tendons and the muscles in your forearms will be taking some of the strain off of your chest. By doing it this way with completely straight arms, you are really causing the chest to be the only muscle that can perform that movement by bringing the arms in when contracting. But what I really did that really sort of stood out for me and really gave me an awesome burn was to make sure that every rep I increased the time I paused. So 1 second for the first rep, 2 seconds for the second rep, 3 seconds for the third rep, 4 seconds here for the fourth rep. And I'm sure you can guess how this goes. All the way up to 8 reps, where I would pause for 8 seconds before finishing the exercise. Gave an incredible burn, really felt the contraction, much more than just doing regular dumbbell flies or even on a machine gripping the handle normally. But it was a really, really good exercise. I'm definitely going to carry on using. Next, I moved on to doing some press-ups. Again, I did 2 to 3 sets to failure, and all I was aiming for here, I wasn't focused on completing the movement all the way up, till the arms are fully extended, just banging them out as quick as possible, getting the heart rate up, as has been the case throughout this workout, and just keeping the tension on the triceps to really get it working and burning those calories. Now for cardio, I did something a little more high intensity. Basically what I did was 30 seconds of skipping, just varying it up, getting the heart going, getting the breathing heavy, and then I coupled that with 10 burpees, making sure at the bottom of the burpee to take my hands off. That way I become a dead weight and it becomes much harder. And I did this for 3 rounds with 30 seconds of rest in between. Now, food-wise today, I had a bit more of an indulgent dinner. I had some chicken chopped up. I got some the sauce for bolognese, but as low fat as I could find, with some of this gluten-free fibre pasta. Really tasty meal. Kind of broke up the monotony of just having chicken, vegetables, the usual. The macros were great. I think it was 50 protein, 60 carbs and around 15 or 20 grams of fat. But that is it, guys. If you want to watch another video, be sure to check out one of these below. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.